forget about the money. Seriously, because it's not about the money. Okay, it's about money a little bit, but money is not the point, not the end goal. In truth, when we're stressed about our finances, it's because we're not sure our money decisions are aligned with the life we want to be living. The question we need to ask ourselves isn't, can I or should I? It's, what do I want my money to do for me? Answering this question will help us cope with endless options, pressure to keep up with the Joneses, and the paralyzing fear that we're just not being smart with our money. What do I want my money to do for me works like a gut check that helps us see whether our priorities are driving our money decisions. When we know what we want our money to do for us, the options become a lot less daunting, and confidence quickly replaces the stress. Gut check, go. What do I want my money to do for me? In all the time you devote to working, spending, saving, and stressing, have you ever asked yourself this question? Don't worry if you haven't. Most of us don't think about money in this way, and honestly, it's a hard question to answer. Not only that, but it's normal for your answer to change over time. That's why you need to keep doing the gut check with each money decision. It will either confirm your priorities or open your eyes to necessary changes. Let me be clear. What do I want and what do I want my money to do for me are different questions. I'm not prompting you to write your holiday wish list. What do I want my money to do for me is about nothing less than deciding what kind of life you want to live, and then making a plan so your money can help you get there. If you're not already living the life you want, how would you like to live instead? Don't worry if your answer is radically different from your current reality. Just think about what's important to you. Maybe the life you want involves staying home with your kids, annual European vacations, going back to school, or just less stress around bills. It could be all of those things. It doesn't matter. The point is to decide what your priorities are, and then make a plan to meet them. Without a plan, you're floating and stumbling, hoping life will someday click into place. It's a lot like going to college and never choosing a major, maybe you did that, or going grocery shopping and grabbing random things on the shelf, hoping they'll add up to dinner. Maybe you do that. This is actually how many of us treat our money. It just comes and goes without much thought until suddenly we are stressed. And we often don't even realize we're stressing about money. Everything just feels overwhelming. The antidote to your money stress. That little life plan? It's actually a budget. Yes, a budget. You need one, I need one. We all need a budget, no matter how much money we have or don't have. You picked up this book, so you probably already know that, but the idea of budgeting may still scare you. If you're worried it will be too rigid, restricting, and unforgiving, it's time to look at budgeting from a different angle. Forget about the things you can't do with your money, I can't afford that trip, or the things you have to do with your money, I have to pay off my student loans. Instead, think of what you want and go from there. I want to take my family to Italy. I want to live debt-free. I want to hire a personal tutor to learn Italian. A budget lets you plan for all of these things. I mentioned earlier that many of us struggle with money choices because we don't have a system for making decisions. Your budget is that system. It's a tool for designing your life around what you want. Without a budget, you have no way to prioritize your spending. You often don't even know where your money is truly going. You may stress about not being able to afford what's important to you while you simultaneously spend on things you'd willingly nix if you could see the trade-offs. That's the beauty of a good budget. It lets you see exactly how your spending affects the rest of your life. Perhaps that trip to Italy seems beyond your reality. Meanwhile, the takeout habit you barely enjoy costs you hundreds a month. You might fill your closet with eBay impulse buys you rarely wear, while you cringe at your student loan balance. If you've been wondering how you'll ever afford to fill in the blank, you may not have to look as far as you think. This is what makes budgeting actually fun and liberating. There's nothing like the joy of zapping meaningless expenses and putting those dollars towards